last year I've been running 460 treadwear Kumho summer tires, and I finally upgraded some real 200 treadwear tires for autocross. So I expect these to be better. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to tell a difference, and it's insane how much more grip these have than my last tires. This car kind of does things I didn't think it'd be capable of, so it caught me off guard. Took me a few runs to get used to. There's still more potential in these tires than what I extracted on my first time out. So I'm expecting these to do a lot better this year, and I'm excited to share my results with you. Let's jump to my autocross day and results, and I can talk about the good and the bad. So did I improve over last month's race? Last month I had a 2020 Corvette that was ahead of me by about 3%, and today I'm ahead of him by 3%, so I flipped him. Then we have a 1996 Nissan 200SX. He was 25 out of 93 cars, so very quick. I gained 4% on him. We have a Toyota MR2 that's in the same class as me, and I don't know what he did, but I gained nothing on him, even after I added new tires, so I think he made some kind of big improvement. I think he was playing with his turbo last time, so something has changed. This Tesla finished third overall today, so he's extremely quick, and somehow I managed to chop off 6% of his lead. Likewise, this Miata was a top 5 finisher, and I was able to gain 2% on him. And finally, this BRZ finished 12th overall. I was able to take 3% off of him. Overall, I jumped about 22 places into the top half of all the cars in the field. Now that we see that these tires can perform, let's talk about some of the other good and bad things about them. So even though I went with the same tire size in the front, these tires are wider. They're a little more square in the shoulder. You can see they're basically flush with the rim, whereas my tires before rounded off. So these are slightly wider to the edge, which is a good thing. With grippier tires, I was able to carry a lot more speed through the turns and push the car even harder, but that meant the car got even hotter. As you may notice, I had my radiator fans up front, with the radiator, of course, which means there's no fan in the back for the engine. Because of this, I boiled my clutch fluid. After the race, it lasted all day just fine, but after the race, I got in and my clutch pedal was soft and I had to pump it several times to gain pressure, luckily. So I need to shield the line back here or add a fan, cool it down between runs. Something needs to be done to keep the temperatures at bay in the engine bay. Even though these have a lot of grip on the track when they're warm, they have very little grip when it's cool out. At about 60 degrees outside, these grip less than my old summer tires. They will break free on you, they're kind of unpredictable, so make sure they're warm, make sure you don't push too hard if it's cool out. I would estimate about 65 or 70 is needed for them to get warm, or if you're pushing really hard on an autocross track, maybe a lap or so will finally get them up to temp. And because these tires are so much stickier, they pick up a lot of rocks. When I drive through my neighborhood, they're always tinging off this metal here. Right now it's just bare aluminum, so I am very motivated to coat that with some kind of rubber coating or bed liner, Flex Seal, something, just to dampen the noise of rocks and make my car sound like a maraca while driving through the neighborhood. I struggled to find the right tire pressures. It took me a couple runs to get used to the tires, and then I started pushing them harder, and the harder I pushed it, the more I realized I was starting to wear under this indicator right here. It was coming down the sidewall further than you want. So I had to raise the pressure on my rear tires up to 42 PSI to finally get the tires to wear up a little higher where you want it. For the front tires, I was closer to 37 PSI. That's what it took to get me up here, right where I wanted to be. But once I got those dialed in, front and rear, I set the fastest time of the day for my car on the 6th and final lap. So even after playing with my tire pressures, my alignment, corner balancing the car, swapping out my front control arms, widening the track with wheel spacers, all those combined made a smaller effect than just putting on better tires. So really good bang for your buck, and absolutely required if you want to be competitive. Thanks for watching.